And so I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Commissioners, I'd ask you to take a look at the agenda one last time. We do know that UDC had requested to be on the agenda tonight, so I am not sure if they're present. Is anyone here from UDC tonight?
Good evening, Avis Russell from the University of District of Columbia. We are here this evening.
Ms. Russell?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so looking at the agenda, we'll add UDC and we'll add them a D under commission business there. And I think unless someone, anybody have any other ideas, any suggestions? All right, so
I'm sorry, Chairman, would that be under reports and presentations, or is there a vote required on that?
Yeah,
I don't believe there is a vote, but I don't know what the presentation is.
So then I would put it under reports and presentations.
Under number 7, item 7. All right, I don't have a problem with that. Any other discussions?
There is not.
All right,
I just want to make sure we also are aware that we added the June 2022 meeting minutes to the agenda as well. Those were sent out.
June 2022.
Yes, the ones that you sent to everybody.
Okay. All right, so with those two amendments, the addition of UDC and the June 2020 minutes, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agendas amended.
Chairman Edwards, I move that we approve the agenda with the added amendments at this time.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded that we accept the agenda. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, hearing none, let the record reflect that the vote was unanimous.
Chairman Edwards, we have a number of minutes. What I'm wondering if we can do to save on time is to vote to approve all of them and if necessary, make additions later, comments later. But we've got June 2022, July 2022, August 2022, September 22, and then we've got the special meeting in October 12th, 2022.
And I'm going to rely on the treasurer because if she need any of those minutes for her reports that she's turning in, then I think that record should only be minutes, a motion showing approval for the minutes for that particular meeting and not all the others. Commissioner Washington, is that right? Or can you do them in block like that?
No, I need to have that one, but I don't even see which meeting was that we did?
June 2022.
Oh, the one we just did. So yeah, let's approve that one separately and then you can group the other ones.
All right. So I will, everybody has had an opportunity to review the minutes, I assume. And now based on our discussions, what's your pleasure? So we'll now take these, the June 2020.
Are we sure it's the June 2020? Because I don't see it on the June 2020.
Well, that was the one that
you wrote.
you requested the June 2022 minutes, and those are the ones I said I did not have. And those are the ones that Chairman Edwards sent out to us to review. Because I was not at that meeting at the beginning. I came late to that meeting.
No, we had a special meeting on July 20th to approve the budget.
Those are not the one. That's not the one you had asked me for.
Yeah.
No, I didn't ask you for it because I already had that one. I only asked for the June.
Right.
So I got you.
I found it. So it's the July special meeting.
That's right.
That we need to approve because we only did one thing on that day and that was to approve the minutes. I mean,
Okay,
the third
so
quarter.
so just to be clear, we are approving the July 2022 minutes as a separate piece, but then all the other ones we can approve collectively. Is that correct?
That's fine with me, yes.
And
Alright.
Commissioner Lucio, do we need to do the June minutes? They have to be done as well, right?
Yes, so it would be,
Okay.
right, so we would, but those don't have to be approved separately because that's not the information that Commissioner Washington needed, just the July ones.
All right. So then I'll entertain a motion now with regard to the July. And what's the date on that meeting?
July 20th.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion now on the July 20th minutes.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the July 2022 minutes.
Special meeting minutes.
Mhm.
Special meeting minutes. Hey,
Thank you. Thank you.
precision.
All right. Is that a second, Commissioner Washington?
Yes, there's a second for me.
All right. Okay, you've heard the question. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, the July 20th minutes stand accepted.
So then Chairman Edwards, I would like to move that we accept the June 2022 meeting minutes, the August 2022 meeting minutes, the September 2022 meeting minutes, the October 12th, 2022 minutes as a group and approve those.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. It's been properly, you've heard the question. It's been properly moved and second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, let the record reflect that was unanimous as well. All right, moving right along now, we're at the fourth quarter financial report. Commissioner Washington, you have the floor.
Yes. All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. This is Commissioner Washington, who is the treasurer. Commissioners, I sent forth the fourth quarter report to be approved at the last meeting. I think it was at your September meeting or October meeting?
October meeting.
October meeting, and you didn't have a quorum. So I'm trying to find, since we have a quorum now and everybody has the quarterly financial report for the fourth quarter, I am putting a motion on the floor that we approve the ANC's financial report for the fourth quarter of FY22. Commissioner Lucio, if you still have it, can you put it up?
I do, and I'm about to do that. Just give me 1 second. Here you go.
Okay, I will go through it for purposes of everyone knowing what we're approving. The balance that was brought forth from the third quarter to the fourth quarter was $48,320.04. We got two allotments that came in that totaled $10,860.58 for a balance for the quarter of $59,180.62. We had $1,872.94 in expenditures, and which leaves us as a balance at the end of the fourth quarter, which ends September 30th, with a balance of $57,304.68.
Commissioners, you heard the report. What's your pleasure?
I move that we accept the fourth quarter fiscal year 22 fourth quarter financial report as presented.
Was there a second? Who was that?
Commissioner Fletcher.
Okay. All right. It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept the fourth quarter financial report. You ready for the questions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, unanimous. Vote on that.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Washington. The next thing is the annual reports, which I will defer and we'll move till later, and we'll move to C, which is the special exceptions in the re-addition of 5008 12th Street. Commissioner Lockett, you have the floor.
Commissioner, that was before we move forward to that. Can we check to see if we have someone from MPD?
We do.
We do. They're going to be able to wait until we go through this, because I think this is going to be a discussion. I have several questions.
Is there someone from MPD?
There was someone on when we started.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
We were wanting to know if someone was on from MPD, and we would move you up to now so that we could take your report before we go into any other business.
Oh, yes, sir, I'm ready.
Okay, you got the floor.
All right. How is everyone? I'm Sergeant Joseph Alston. I'm PSA 405 Sergeant. Captain Terry and Lieutenant Shout couldn't make tonight's meeting. So they asked me to step in for them. So regarding with our stats in the past 30 days, we've seen an uptick in our vehicle motor theft, which is stolen vehicles. In the past 30 days, we've had about 8 of them, I believe. Yes, 8 of them, which is, it's unusual, but we've also seen that a new strategy has come out where Kias and Hyundais are being targeted due to if they don't have the keyless entry and that they use a key to get in their vehicles, those vehicles are being targeted because they're easier to steal. There's a specific device that they can that is being used to start the vehicles and making it a lot easier for people to steal those type of vehicles. Also, we're still seeing the common theme of hop-ins, where now it's starting to get colder. People are leaving their cars or starting their cars early in the morning, or leaving their cars running at nighttime, even to step out. Uber drivers, delivery drivers, they step out of their vehicle to make a quick drop off, and in that short amount of time, someone is hopping in their car and driving off. So, you know, for anybody that's listening, I know it's cold and it's difficult sometimes. If you don't have an automatic start, please, you know, remain in your vehicle to keep it warm. We've had a couple of arrests in reference to robberies. There was a robbery over by the 7-Eleven on Hawaii Avenue. That was closed with an arrest of a juvenile. And that was a specific meetup type thing, where an advertisement for a phone was put on like Facebook Marketplace. They met up, and the kid took the money from him. But again, that one was closed with an arrest. Other than that, I mean, overall time for 4D is down. But like I said, in the past 30 days, we've seen an uptick in the motor vehicle thefts. So as combating that, we've deployed a traffic car in each of the 3 shifts, and they're targeting the areas that we're seeing the most motor vehicle thefts, which is the South Dakota Chapel Road area, and the Fort Totten North Capitol down to Hawaii Avenue area. Is there any questions or any other information that you would like that I can hopefully address for you?
Chairman Edwards, I have a question.
Okay.
Go ahead, Commissioner Lucio.
Thank you. So I appreciate you coming very much tonight and providing this report. It has been a few months, several months actually, since we have had somebody from MPD attend our meeting. We used to have somebody on a regular basis. I had a conversation with Captain Terry back in, I want to say it was June or July. And the response I received when I spoke to Captain Terry is that MPD would no longer be attending the ANC meetings. And you know, I think I want to express that it is extremely important to continue to have this connection to the community. I understand there are the PSA meetings. We do share information about the PSA meetings to the community, but this is another way for, not everyone's able to attend the PSA meetings for whatever reason. So this is another way for MPD to continue to connect with the community and help, not only help update us on what's going on, but also hear from the community about what's, you know, other things that you may not be aware of. And so I do think it's critically important that there is that continuum of information provided at ANC meetings. And so I don't know what needs to happen in order for there to be enough staffing so that somebody can attend our meetings. We completely understand that if there is an emergency and, you know, you all get called away, we understand that needs to be a priority, and that happens from time to time. But we do have you on our agenda for every meeting, and we would appreciate it if somebody could attend when there's not another emergency calling you away. I don't know what you've heard from the department in terms of attending ANC meetings, but I would like to hear your thoughts on that.
All right. So in regards to the discussion or emails that you provide that went back and forth with you and Captain Terry, I'm not aware of anything. Everything gets disseminated down. So when I'm asked to step in and handle a meeting, I have no issues doing it. I handle meetings all the time when I'm asked. So my personal opinion, yes, I believe that, you know, meetings are great because it does connect the community and build community relationships, and it's a way to get people to know the police and be familiar with the people that are on your beat. When we used to do face-to-face meetings, I would bring officers with me so that the individuals at the meeting would get to see the officers that are assigned to the PSA. So my own personal belief is, yes, the community meetings are very important. With that said, you know, I think, like I said, things get disseminated downhill for me. So once a meeting is put out there by you guys, either send out the information about the community meeting to the captain, to the lieutenant. I only get on when they're telling me that I need to handle the meeting.
I understand that, and I appreciate that. Let me ask something else, because I see Nokomis Hunter is on the call from the mayor's office. And Nokomis, you know, I think that this is something all of us as a commission have talked about when MPD was not at our meetings. The fact that we were disappointed that they were not in attendance. What I was told by Captain Terry when I had a conversation with him is that they just were not going to be attending ANC meetings anymore. And it took several phone calls and conversations from Commissioner Washington for us to get somebody at this meeting tonight. This did not just happen by chance. And so I don't know where the mayor stands on this, but I do think it's critically important that they continue to engage with the community at as many opportunities as they can. And this is a really good one for them to do.
Okay. Okay, I'll look into that.
Commissioner Edwards, could I speak, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to kind of follow up with Commissioner Lucio from what I found out as it relates to the sector meetings. And I think it wasn't the captain's call, it was the commander's call. And, you know, not having the lieutenants or captains to come out to the meetings is something that was on his plate that he made the decision on. So I think in terms of having Nokomis look into it is where we should start, because I would hate for the incoming commissioners and new commissioners and reelected to go into another year with not being able to have MPD to attend the meetings to keep that connectivity going with the community. So Nokomis, we really would appreciate, you know, some feedback on where the mayor's office stands on the decision for not to have PSA meetings within the PSAs anymore, or to come out to community meetings.
All right, Nokomis, if you could look into that for us, we would certainly appreciate it. Anybody have any other questions for MPD? All right, sir. Commissioner Lockett, I see your hand.
Thank you. Thank you. First, I'd like to thank Commissioner Fletcher for jumping on the part of the 12th Street situation. And what I'm getting ready to ask the officer is pertaining to safety in our community. I spoke with the Deputy Chief Kane in the meeting with Field Medicine, and I was still waiting some information what it takes to put a camera at the intersection of South Dakota and Emerson Street. Is there something requirement, application we need to fill out or anything of that nature? We have to have a signature from the community?
And so in reference to getting any type of camera, that actually goes through our automated traffic division, and they actually come out, they do a survey and evaluation of the intersection or the block to see the amount of traffic, to see how many times the stop sign is being run or how fast people are traveling. They do a survey for that. And then based off of that survey, then they, it is my understanding that they have to bring it back and then submit something to the community to make sure that the community is on board. And then they go up the channels to facilitate getting that automated traffic device in there. Speaking of a camera.
Now,
So it is a,
Mhm.
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it is somewhat of a lengthy process, but
Okay.
but it can be done. It's
Okay.
not unheard of. We see them all over the place here in the
Yes.
city. A lot of the stop signs, speed cameras, red light cameras, they're everywhere. So it can be done.
Well, I'm talking in reference to crime. I noticed they have cameras in some area where crime is extremely high. And I know here at the little commercial district right here that we've had situations here with, people being robbed, mugged, and things of that nature here. And I was just wondering what that particular camera will be helpful to the police if somebody's driving a car or coming out of the facility and the camera can catch them, and that makes your job a little easier. Is that part of the camera or only for traffic?
Okay, so I misunderstood your question. All right, so that is a crime camera, one of our crime cameras that get put up in the high crime areas. It's if you ever go by Georgia and Kennedy Street, there's one there. There is one down on 2nd and Upshur, I believe. And there's one down on the 14th and Spring. That's the 3 that I know of, but I think there is another one. Anyways, the best way to go through that and to get that is through the captain. The captain has to put a request in for the crime camera. But again, it has to be more than likely they would only grant that because the city is limited on how many they have. I think they only grant it if we're facing like a true uptick in some violent crimes.
Okay. We're not having a whole lot.
Not to say that it can't be done. Not to say that it can't be done. I'm just saying that it would take some major push from your end and the mayor's office to try to make that happen.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
No problem.
All right. Anything further? Any more questions? All right. I think you report we got was good. It would be nice. Well, I guess we're gonna wait for Nokomis to sort of look into this issue for us with regard to the police policy now about the community. I thought the department was moving more toward community policing and sort of being a part of the community. That's what I've been hearing. But then to hear now that we're looking at cutting away that it is a very important concern for us. Nokomis, we appreciate you looking into it. And then getting back to us, letting us know what's going on. Other than that, thank you, sir, for attending our meeting. And you have anything to say in closing? Yes.
Yeah, just one other thing. I mean, the department is we are pushing towards more community policing. The news about not coming to ANC meetings, that's news to me. I don't know what goes on top. You know, I'm just a sergeant. And so it's me and the officers, we're out on the street. So we're out there with the community. I know specifically that the 4th District, we are hosting specific community events. Like myself, I did I'm trying to advertise a Hiking with Heroes type of thing for the members of the community within PSA 405, actually all of 4D, where the kids and parents can get out and go hiking with me inside the District of Columbia. So we are, and I know the commander has put on the annual Halloween thing, Halloween event. We've had camp out events here at the 4th District. So we are really trying to keep the engagement with the community up. So when you say that we weren't going to attend any more ANC, that was news to me. So like
Lieutenant,
I said, I'm sorry.
Can I ask you one other question or make one other comment real quick?
Yeah.
I am always very excited to hear about the events you all are doing. I'm also very excited happy to share them. We've had this conversation with 4D before. A majority of the events you all do are over in that Georgia Avenue Northwest corridor. And our residents, for the most part from this PSA, are not likely to travel over there. So while you're thinking about planning community events, we very kindly ask, and we've asked this before, that you plan some events over in Northeast on this side.
I think that's a reasonable request. Myself, I'm a big hiker, so the very first one that I hosted was, and you're right, it was over off of 16th Street over in the Rock Creek Park. But I can definitely look for areas to walk around out there in the Northeast side. But you were right. I mean, it was a little easier to do it because we're closer to 4D here. And but I will do my best on my side for my event, as well as and I will pass along the information, the request that you just asked.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right,
No
sir,
problem.
and we do appreciate it. And like we said, we know you are a hardworking, dedicated police officer. So you like community policing and sort of being hands-on with the community. But this sounds like you said earlier, a decision that's made up here somewhere, and it sounds like it hasn't sort of trickled down. So I don't understand it. So that's why we put that on Nokomis. Because somewhere up in that area, Nokomis, you should be able to figure out where this decision came from and how we can get it resolved so that we make sure that the police department, community policing, all right, show us that you are community police oriented. All right, very good.
Commissioner,
Say again.
Commissioner
I was
Edwards,
saying, yes, sir.
Okay, sir, you have the floor.
You too. Have a
No,
good one,
you have
everyone.
the floor. You finished? Go ahead. Repeat what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was just saying I agree with everything you said. And yeah, that was it. That's all it was. It was just a brief comment. That's
All right. Thank you. Commissioner Washington, you have the floor.
yeah, I was saying that I would be interested in knowing, since they've been having these sector meetings, what the attendance has been. Because I've been on a few of those meetings, and generally it's only 2 or 3 people on from the PSAs that are covered by that sector. So it's not really, to me, being beneficial that you're reaching the community or the public when you only have 3 or 4 people on a sector call. So
That's
that's just,
a fair, and that's a fair question. And again, when I send out the email update about this meeting, that is something that I'll also put on that the numbers are being requested. So I don't have that information.
right. Thank you much.
Yep,
All right.
no problem.
All right, thanks a lot. So very good discussion. So now we will, Nokomis, I know you saw was on MPD and you're probably saying, okay, I'm going to be next. But if your schedule permits, I'm going to go back up to item 5C, which is the special exception for the re-addition on 5008th Street Northeast. You okay, Nokomis, on timing? Okay, sounds like he is. All right, Commissioner Lockett, you have the floor.
Okay. Good evening. I'm going to make an introduction to the people, Ms. Jackson and Mr. Fitcher, who is the developer for it. And then I will allow them to speak for the questions that Ms. Washington says she had without being interrupted as we've had in the past. So Ms. Jackson is a resident here on 12th Street. I know her very personally. She's been there for a long time. She's asking to put a room addition to her home in the back of her home. And she has a developer, Mr. Fitcher, who's the contractor who's going to be performing the work. So Ms. Washington, if you have any questions without interruptions, you can ask the question to them and I'll come back and talk about the project.
Why don't we let them, make the presentation or whatever, and then once we have presentations, we have questions. So I'd like to, you turn it over to whoever is on the team and going to make a presentation.
I'm only talking from experience I've had when I go to ask developers questions about it and being interrupted. So let me go ahead and do my piece with it. I've looked over the plan that they've given to me, the drawings and everything here. Everything looks okay to me. Only thing Ms. Jackson and asking for support from the ANC in a form of saying they agree with Mrs. Jackson and the projects that she's trying to improve her home there. And she's just asking for support. Again, I've read this and looked at the drawings and everything. I don't see anything that should turn us down from not supporting Ms. Jackson.
All right. Okay, that's fair. Now who okay, so who's going to make a presentation?
Mr. Fisher. Oh, no, good. Mr. Fletcher has a question.
Just for Chairman Edwards, not a question, but I also just want to go on record to say that I also know Ms. Gwen Jackson, and I've also looked over the documents and looked at the modifications, and I also support this as well. I just want to say that initially and support Commissioner Lockett as well in this presentation. Thank you.
All right, and we're not at that point yet where I want to hear what people think about it, but I do appreciate you all making those sort of comments to us. What I'd like to do is let's hear the presentation, and then after the presentation, if there are some questions, and then everybody who like it and everybody that don't can say what they need to say.
Chairman Edwards, I just want a technical question. Mr. Fisher, do you need screen sharing permission to share your presentation?
Do everyone have a copy of?
We do. But
Okay,
I'm asking if he needs screen share. We were sent it, but the community doesn't have it. So in order for the community to see it, I'm asking, do you have a PowerPoint presentation to share with us tonight that I need to give you screen sharing permission?
Gail is going to be representing me tonight. This is Miss Jackson speaking.
Yes, hi, Ms. Jackson.
Hi.
Do you
Tonight, Miss Gail Worsley is going to, I think, be the one that's going to be doing the most speaking. She's part of the project.
Okay, Ms. Wardley, do you have a PowerPoint that I need to give you screen sharing permission for?
I have a PDF, yes. I do.
Okay, and then could you please make sure to send that to me? I'm gonna make you a co-host. Can you please make sure to send that to me because we need to add it as a part of our official records and we upload them to our website.
Sure.
So my email address, just in case you don't have it, is 5A03.
Hold on one quick second. I'm sorry. Let me grab a pen to make sure I have. And write it down. Okay.
Five
sorry.
A 5A03
Mhm.
at anc.dc.gov. And
Gotcha.
once you send that to me, I will post it on the website, but you now have co-hosting permission to share that. Thank you.
Okay, great. My name is Gail Worsley. I am the architect for the project. I work with Ms. Jackson and Mr. Fisher on developing the drawings for the working drawings and the proposed addition. And I will share the my PDF. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, wrong one. Stop sharing. I think it'll be easier to start with the photographs. And so the proposed project is relocated right here in sort of mid-block of the 5,000 block of 12th Street. Pretty typical duplex row house duplex conditions for this part of Northeast. Ms. Jackson is located on the property is located on the south side of the double lot. And her project actually sits, as you can see in this sort of middle photo here, they're not all aligned. They kind of shift back and forth, and Mrs. Jackson's property is shifted slightly forward. So it's about 6 to 7 feet forward of some of the other houses on the block. And she is proposing a 15-foot rear addition to her home, which exceeds the 10-foot maximum projection from per the zoning regulations. And that's what we're requesting as a special exception. We feel that in doing a 15-foot addition, we're really not projecting much further past the 10-foot from the homes that sit back a little bit further. There is one house on the block, which is located a little bit to the north. I believe it's 5012 has a rear addition, and the addition, our proposed addition would pretty much align with that addition that exists currently. So we're not projecting much past anything that's existing on the block as it currently is. And as you kind of see it over on this slide as well. So you'll see back in here. That's the addition. And I will show you so this is the plan. For the most part, we're keeping the house intact. The addition, this is the demolition plan and the demolition and the proposed basement plan. We're adding a bathroom and a bedroom in the back at the basement level. On the first floor, we are adding another bathroom and a family room area in the back for the enjoyment of the family. And then again, another bedroom, adding to the master bedroom, one big closet and another bathroom. And as you're probably aware, the houses in this area are pretty small. It's just basically some additional room. Miss Jackson is quite vested in the neighborhood. She's been here pretty much her whole life. And so she'd like to keep the property and wants to stay in the area, but just needs some more room. And let's see. In terms of height, we're matching the existing roof height. We're not going any taller. This is a view of the alley. This is that addition that I mentioned in the other slide that I had in the plan. This is that addition. So I wanted to show that we will not be, we pretty much will align with this addition that already exists. And Miss Jackson's house is here. So you can see that the houses kind of step back and forth, and hers happens to be one of the ones that sits a little bit more forward on the block. And she has a bigger rear yard than some of her neighbors. We're not asking for any other exceptions in terms of lot occupancy, height, width, We don't need any side yard relief. It's strictly a request for the 15 feet as opposed to the 10-foot addition at the rear. And we're matching the width of the house, so we're not stepping back in any way. We did some solar studies, not creating any major light or air problems in terms of, in the rear yard. In the summertime, we're going to cast pretty much the same, almost the same shadow as if it were 10 feet versus 15 feet. Not much of a difference there as well. And then, sorry, I don't have those available, but they will be submitted. I can send them to you as a part of the package, but I just don't have them available right now. So if anybody has any questions.
Okay, yeah. I know Commissioner Washington said she had a question, but what I wanted to do was just as before Commissioner Washington get there, Commissioner Lockett, have you or Ms. Jackson, and in terms of the neighbors, you're right next to you, do we have any input from them?
It's my understanding. It's my understanding that two neighbors opposed it, but it's also, when I read through it and looked at it, one neighbor who opposed it shows the address on her letter respond is living in Maryland. So I think we're dealing with someone who's opposing it, but doesn't live there. Either a rent or a family member lives there. And the other neighbor, I think one was talking about airspace and they can't look down the alley and things of that nature. Well, the unit you just showed there, that means the person had just come up to the end of the yard to look down the alley and to breathe. And as you can see there on the picture there, there's nothing else large in this whole alley here. I've rode it and walked it many a times that stops an individual come to there to look down through the alley. So I didn't quite understand what that person who was opposing it, who does not live there, was opposing it because of air and things of that nature, not being able to look down the alley. And your address on here show you stay in Maryland.
Okay. Ms. Jackson, I think you were getting ready to say something. So the two neighbors on the opposite sides of them, I was just trying to see if you all had any direct communication.
Yes. Well, what I did was, for most of my neighbors in the very beginning, I sent out letters to them, outreach letters, and I talked to most of my neighbors. Everybody was in support of it. Nobody had any problems with it. These two neighbors, they don't live on the block. So I didn't get able to talk to them like I did everybody else. The neighbor that's attached to me, she had to fill out a special form for the process, where she had to sign a special form to say that she was in agreement with it. And that's been, and the other neighbor that's not on the, not attached to me, he will be writing a letter because his mother was fine. I mean, they were fine with it also. So I think those are the main two, the two adjoining. Each one of these people who have written in, they're about 3 houses away from me. Okay. And the lady who said that she couldn't look down the alley, she can't look down the alley because that addition is next door to her.
Okay.
And basically what I'm trying to do in this case, I'm 73. I want to age in my home. Therefore, I'm trying to do this first floor addition only. I mean, it'll be a den now, but if I get so I can't go up the steps, it will become, I can live on my first floor. And that's what I'm really trying to do. And
understand dealing with that issue now.
Yeah, and downstairs, I really didn't want to necessarily have to dig out, but I have a back door. And I wanted to keep my back door. I know we're going to put an egress window in there, but I'm not, if I can get out a back door, I'd rather do that instead of climbing out an egress window.
Okay. All right.
Now, the other thing, I just want to say one more thing. There is another house at 5048 11th Street that was built last year, done by the same architect. And that house was built and is there. So this is a trend now. And there are many additions on a lot of houses, but this is a trend because these houses are small and we're trying to stay in the district if we can.
Understand. Understand. All right, Commissioner Washington, you're next.
Well, you pretty much have hit on the questions that I was about to ask as it relates to the community and individuals who are in support of and how they were notified and things of that nature. Commissioner Lockett brought up something about the two individuals that were opposing, because I understand there's a hearing that's going to be held on December 21st.
Yes.
With the two individuals that are going to be, who are in opposition of the project. My concern is, and my question is to you, Commissioner Lockett, is that something that you feel like that we should support prior to a meeting and the outcome of that meeting? Because I would think that, and just in my opinion, that we would need to find out what's the outcome of the hearing before we
Well,
take
I
a
just,
vote on it.
I
just
thought
need-
maybe if we gave them the support prior to the meeting, that would help at the zoning when she do go there, that the ANC and preferably people who live in this community, I do, and see that, and I see the growth where this type of development in our community is taking place. They're not going up, they're going out. And quite a bit of them are doing it, and I'm in the process of thinking about doing it myself. But this is what's needed now in our community for square footages in the home. A lot of people are actually looking to reside in their homes for, like myself, 50 years, to stay there. Like she says, she want to grow old in her home. And we do know getting to spaces in your room and not going upstairs or downstairs is convenient for people who are growing old in their home.
Well, my
Ms.
other question.
Washington, Ms. Washington, let me just say this. I've been, over the last week, I've been looking at hearings on their website. And in those hearings, I've noticed that the ANCs have put forth support in that initial meeting. That's one of the things that they that they do in the initial meeting. Because if we could get this solved right then, there wouldn't be a second meeting.
It allows the zoning commission to see that the community of 5A or 5A02 was involved with the proposal she put forth. And like we're doing here at the meeting now, we're asking questions that we're concerned about it. And from what I read here and what I see there already, it kind of says I'm in support of it. I just hope that the other commissioners will be in support of it also.
Okay, I have just two more questions. And one is, when you say you're in support of, was there an SMD meeting of the community to say they would be in support of it?
No.
Okay.
The
Well, that's one.
200-foot letters went out, and that's how.
She's meeting the requirements of the 200 footers and putting the letters out to them. That's how she got the response from the other two individuals who are opposed to it. So she did her part.
Yeah,
But excuse me, I'm asking you, Commissioner Lockett, even though she's done that.
And
was there okay, so there's nothing from 5A02 or whatever your SMD is that says that the community supports the 200 footers as well.
All right.
I did not have an SMD meeting in support with the community for what she's doing. But I would applaud Ms. Jackson on following the procedures set forth by the government, notifying the individuals who claim it may affect those within the 200 footers. So I went by what she did here, and the procedures were correct as the government procedures have in place.
Okay, and then my final question is, you comment would be, you said that there's a lot of other individuals in the community who are adding on, and I know it is a trend because it's happening all over the city, but how many of those in your community ask for a special exception?
Well, I have one on the 5000 block of South Dakota Avenue who did an upstairs and a downstairs. And that was processed way before I became commissioner. And it's up and running now. And as a active duty lieutenant colonel who lives in the house along with his wife and child. And I have no idea. I even asked him about it, but he said everything went past. So I never was, it was never asked to me at a SMD meeting for the community's input. So I could,
You said-
there was nothing I
was
could
it
do. I was not commissioner when that was done.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm just asking, you know, I mean, that probably was done years ago, maybe before.
No, it
someone-
was just done kind of recently, but what happened, I think with that one is, I think it is a 15-foot addition, but the house that's connected to him already had an addition.
Okay,
Therefore-
okay,
He didn't have, he could get 15 feet, but only doing 5 more feet, and he didn't have to go through the special assessment.
okay, that's my question. That's my question. That's what I wanted to know. So his was already done, so that's why I'm asking how many additional individuals who have added on had a special exception. And his is a special exception because it was already approved.
Well, it was all, yeah, well, they already had, he could go
Exactly.
out 5 feet from. he didn't have
Exactly.
to- Yeah. Now, the
I
one that
know.
we do know that the 5048 is a 15-foot addition, just like this one. They got this special exception. Nobody complained, so it just went through.
All right, so I think we had
I have a question.
You have a question? Go ahead.
I do. So Ms. Jackson, I want to applaud your efforts on reaching out to your community. I truly appreciate that. The initial question I was going to ask was already asked by Commissioner Washington as to whether or not a single member district meeting was held. Because I think that that is part of the process. That's a requirement, is that a single member district meeting be
It's
held.
not a requirement. Not a
Okay.
requirement.
Well, hold on a second. Let me just finish. So it is typically part of the process that a single member district meeting be held. So
The word
Chairman
particular.
Edwards, so excuse me.
That is
Mr.
not a
Lockett,
requirement.
Excuse me, Commissioner Lockett.
No, I'm
So-
not going to excuse you.
Okay,
You
Commissioner
did this to
Lockett.
me last time, ma'am. And
Hold
I'm
up.
trying to explain to you, she followed procedures. I
Okay.
did not interrupt. I let her explain what she had here. All she's asking for, once you got all this information, you cannot focus on the SMD meeting.
Commissioner Lockett,
That's
if you
not
let
the
me
problem.
finish, please.
Okay.
No, you didn't let me finish the
Commissioner-
whole time.
Commissioner Lockett.
This is my request putting in here.
Okay, Commissioner Lockett, I think we're gonna get to where you want to go.
Okay.
If we
Yes.
just allow her,
Give me 1 second.
if we just allow her to go ahead and to make her statement, it's only a statement. And then
Yes.
after that, we will have a discussion about this request. Go ahead, Commissioner Lucio.
Thank you, Chairman Edwards. So what I was going to ask Chairman Edwards, if the commissioners as a whole are okay with moving this project forward because of the great lengths Ms. Jackson has gone to get information and provide information to her neighbors, I would be okay with moving this forward without Commissioner Lockett having had a single member district meeting. Because I do think this is a wise move on Ms. Jackson's part. It's very similar as it's been addressed to other things that have been done in the neighborhood. But I just wanted to again reiterate the fact that, typically, while it may not be in the process and it may not be required, typically our ANC has historically had single member district meetings for these various projects before bringing them to the ANC. So, but Chairman Edwards, I will defer to your judgment on this to make sure we are doing what's in the best interest for the community. So thank you.
All right.
Chairman Edwards,
Yes, sir.
let me share, please, without interruption.
Okay, go ahead. You got the floor.
Okay. The
Stay on
same
topic,
thing,
though. Stay
Huh?
on topic. Just stay on topic. Okay.
you are putting out there typically is something that does not happen all the time. Okay, if the Ms. Jackson follows the procedures, put everything in place, did everything right, and she shared it by saying each one of y'all ahead of time, then that means she's asking for you to review it for your approval. It is not the same thing when you're going to build a school or houses and we don't get anything, expecting for us to approve it. So all I'm asking is she's done her homework. She's done an efficient job here. Only thing I'm asking just for support of the ANC, and that's it.
Is that a motion? Is that a motion?
Motion.
All
Put
right.
a motion on the floor that 5A approves the development for Mrs. Jackson on 12th Street.
All right, is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good evening. It's been properly moved and seconded that ANC 5A support the special exception request for this address. It is for the 15-foot rear addition as opposed to what is normally required at 10-foot. And so the motion is on the floor. You've heard the question. You ready? Are you ready for the question? I mean,
Discussion.
discussion.
Yes, yes. Can I do it after it's been, because it's already been second, correct?
It's been second, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to, I hear you say that Ms. Jackson says that the ANC gives support prior to the hearing for opposition, which would enforce or help them help zoning or BZA to make a decision on it because it has support from the ANC. I'm still for me, is that I feel like that those individuals still have a right to talk or to say how they feel about it. And I feel like we should wait, but because Ms. Jackson has gone through and done what she has, and I know Ms. Jackson myself, I will defer to what has been the past experience of these type of situations that have gone before BZA.
All right. And what I kind of would just like to add to this discussion is, with regard to the ANC and the ANC's position, it is important. And it's important that those hearings, and in just about every development, there is somebody who's going to be opposed to something. And we don't wait. The ANC generally don't wait to see what everybody else is doing before we decide what we as a community want. And if I'm hearing here now that the SMD throughout discussions, they've had communications with everybody. They didn't necessarily have a meeting, but they've touched bases with everybody and one or two people are opposed. We don't, in my mind, need to wait on anything that way. We just have to decide whether the community supports it. And if the community supports it, then we move forward with our position. So with that discussion, on that issue, unless someone has some unreadiness, I'm prepared to sort of move forward with the vote. All right, so it's been, you've heard the question, the motion regarding what we're looking here for the special exception. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, let the record reflect that the vote was unanimous. Thank you, Ms. Jackson, for your report, and thank you, Commissioner Lockett, for getting it all together.
5A.
Say again?
Thank you.
I said, thank you, Commissioners of 5A.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now, will there be a letter from the ANC that would go out? I don't know that process.
Yes, there will be a letter. It'll go faster if you and the young lady, Ms. Worthy, I think it was, could draft it for us and send and get it to Commissioner Lockett so that he can get it to me. We will get it out as soon as we get a draft, or otherwise we will make sure we get it out before that December date you said you had for the hearing. And what's that date on the hearing again?
The 21st.
Okay, so yeah, if you all get me a draft, I'll get it out as soon as I get that draft. Otherwise, so you'll get me a draft?
Yes, no
Okay.
problem.
All right.
Is the hearing December 21st or November 21st?
December 21st.
Yeah, December 21st. That's right.
And is there, do you have a specific email I should email it to, or can I use the same one?
The same one, 5805 for me
Okay,
at anc.dc.gov. Yeah.
okay, great.
All right.
No problem. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, now moving on down, Nokomis, I think it is your time.
Oh,
Nokomis gone? Okay, we'll come back to him. He may be dropping in and out on the meetings. Councilman McDuffie's office, anyone here? All right, Smart Street Lighting Project. Okay. Commissioner Lucio, help us with this one.
That should be Ashley Wells, and she had asked to come. I don't see her.
Nokomis is back on the screen,
So
Chairman.
why don't we go to Nokomis while I try and figure out where Miss Wells is?
Okay, Nokomis, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to make an announcement to you. I'm sure a lot of you have probably received my email about the event that will be occurring tomorrow. Tomorrow, the mayor will be having a event at the Penn Social, at the Penn Social lounge. So this will be a resume building event. So for anyone that is interested in starting a career in the district government, this will be a great opportunity for you to come meet a government official and also get some tip on building your resume. Again, this is at Penn Social. The address will be at 801 East Street Northwest. The event will start at 5 p.m. Also, this Friday, November 18th, the mayor is also inviting residents along with downtown bid to come celebrate the holiday season and cut the ribbon at the opening of downtown DC Holiday Market. This will be located at 8 and F Street Northwest. And speaking of downtown, the mayor and DEMPED, they will be celebrating the conversion of the Vanguard building into the Ellie apartment on Thursday, December the 1st at 12 p.m. This will be located at 1111 20th Street Northwest. I will send out the link for anyone that would like to attend to that one. Moving on to the next update. Starting out this week, the mayor has attended. She attended the Trinity University along with OSCE. She announced that the number of students enrolled in public school here in Washington, D.C. In 2022-23 school year is at its highest level since the office state superintendent of education, which is OSCE, began doing a district-wide count of public school students in 2007. As part of this announcement, the mayor has visited the students and staff at the Advanced Technical Center, which was launched at the beginning of this year, going on to 23 school year. The ATC, which is the Advanced Technical Center, operated and is managed by OSCE, is a centralized career technical education program co-located on the campus of Trinity University. The purpose of this program is to allow students to take high school and college level CTE course in a 2-year dual enrollment pathway by removing the barrel of equipment costs faced by many schools. This program allows students from all over the city to access coursework that they might not have been offered without requiring them to transfer schools. This program re-imaged the high school experience by giving students access to CTE, with the centralized career technical education pathway that prepared them for high skill, in-demand career. This program currently offers cybersecurity, general nursing, and health information technology. For anyone that is interested in upkeeping the enrollment data and information about the annual enrollment audit, I highly encourage you to go to OSCE's website, where you can find additional information. Also, the mayor yesterday the mayor has invited a community member to apply for Building Block DC grant. The mayor and Lindy Hopper, who is the director of the Office of Gun Violence and Prevention, have invited the residents to apply for up to $5,000 in Building Block grant, which is administered by the Office of Gun Violence Prevention to support activities and programs aimed at creating a safer DC. The deadline for this to submit this application is at 5 p.m. on Friday, December the 2nd. To get access to this application, you must go to progresslifecenter.org/FY23 Building Block DC Gun Prevention Grant. I will put the link into the chat for anyone that would like to apply for this grant. Also, the mayor has launched a website titled together.dc.gov, and she is calling on the resident to submit their big ideas for the next 4 years of her term. She is encouraging the resident to be part of the DC comeback by coming to work at DC government, mentioning the event that is taking place tomorrow at Penn Social, to put back on your awareness that there is many government positions that can be found through this website, together.dc.gov. You can also find many upcoming events, such as the DC government virtual job fair that has been taking place on December the 8th and December the 9th, which is a Thursday and Friday. The registration began at the end of the month, November the 30th, all the way to December the 5th. And I would like to end my update there for any additional questions or concerns that you guys may have.
Let's see, commissioners, any commissioners? Robert, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Quick question on the resume builder and all these other job events in particular. I've asked some folks to check them out, and most of the jobs have been entry level. So can you tell me that with these events that are being offered by the mayor, are they above entry level? And what are we talking about? Are we talking about college grad or higher, or exactly what?
So they're entry level, they're college grad. So there's many positions available, if that's what you would like to know.
All right, thank you, Nokomis. Appreciate it.
Commissioner Lockett, did I see your hand?
Yes. Oh, okay, I'm off mute. Okay. Were you at Silo's church today with the mayor?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Were you at the meeting that they had for the church about equality, racial equality in the city at Silo's church today?
No.
Okay. I attended that meeting. They were talking about the racial injustice with homes in Presley and Washington, D.C. Okay. I kind of disagreed with a lot of it, but that's my opinion only. You cannot take homes from 300,000 to 400,000, and now all of a sudden these homes are looking at 800,000 and 900,000. You take a senior citizen, it's going to tear their taxes up, and it's going to force them to leave the city. That was my opinion at the meeting. Okay. Now, one other question: is it a policy for DC government that employees of the DC government do not have unions or representative in the event that they're terminated?
That I will have to, I will have to ask
Okay.
my colleague.
Okay.
That's an HR question.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
So Commissioner Washington, you have the floor.
I was just piggybacking on Robert about many of these job fairs and resume writing. They normally are for entry-level positions. And a lot of them sometimes, like you just said, the one tomorrow that they're having, or I guess is it tomorrow? You said they're having one tomorrow?
Yeah.
They had, I think there was one today, I believe, at Turkey Thicket.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, that the Ward 5 had.
Mhm.
And I don't know what the outcome was, but it seems like we're doing these things all over the place instead of bringing them together jointly, you know, to try to combine the positions where they are, even if the positions are in government or outside of government. It just seems like we're all over the place with having these things and no cohesiveness, so that people can know where to really go to apply for a job. Because if this is somewhat like being redundant, are they the same jobs or are they not? How do we know? And we're giving this information out to the community. So I was just saying it in essence that maybe we need to do more collaboration on those type of events for our residents.
Okay. Robert, do you have your hand up again?
Yes, I just want to follow up on Sandy. There does need to be collaboration. And I think that a lot of these jobs are to ensure that returning citizens have some place to go to put money in their pocket. But also you have people at a different station in life who may want to transfer to a higher paying job. And if they know what they're getting into, they can avoid some of the jobs that are, say, like I said, aimed at entry level, when they're certainly not entry level, and they want to do something to, again, improve their prospects at earning money. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to add, Chairman, and just in response to what Commissioner Washington said about things being all over the place, I do agree that we need more cohesiveness, but I also believe the reason why things are all over the city is to try to meet folks where they are as much as possible, rather than trying to have those trying to obtain entry-level positions, trying to have those same individuals trying to get across the city or things of that nature. That might be difficult. That's also what I'm thinking, just to add to the conversation.
And I will like to respond to that. Wherever there's a job fair, I don't care where it is in the city, people are going. Doesn't have to be in their backyard. They're going if they're looking for jobs.
Okay. Any other comments? Nokomis, good report, very detailed report. You got your work cut out for us. We have a couple of questions for you. And you don't have to wait till the next meeting to get back to us. If you get the answer, let us know beforehand, especially with regarding the police.
Okay.
And anything else you have to add?
And for the police, are you saying, has it been, how many meetings have they not been present?
Well, I know it's been the last 3 or 4 meetings at least. He was just saying.
It's been since almost the beginning of the year.
Mhm.
Yeah, at least since March.
Yeah, yeah.
At least March. Yeah.
I can go back and look at the agendas, but it's been at least since March. I want to say even before that.
Actually, there's a letter that came out to us letting us know that they were no longer going to be attending community and ANC meetings, that they're going to be having sector meetings. So I would check with the commander because at 4D, because that's where it came from.
Okay.
Okay. You finished, Nokomis? All right. Thank you for your report. I am so sorry, and I'm looking at my agenda because it wasn't on there, and I got my notes. Miss Russell, I'm so sorry. From UDC, I intended to bring you on after we got finished with that that issue that we diverted to. But you have the floor.
Real quick, Chairman, I just want, real quick, I apologize. I just want to mention that, just so you're aware that from DPW, Ms. Cromer is here, and I didn't know whether she had to report or anything. She wasn't on the agenda, but I did want to notice that, make sure you were aware that she is here from DPW. And also, we have one of our new commissioner-elects on the call as well.
All right. Let's take care of that discussion sort of afterwards. Yeah, Miss Russell, you're good.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Edwards. My name is Avis Russell. I'm General Counsel at the University of the District of Columbia. I am joined this evening by several people from the university, as well as consultants that the university has retained in connection with the master plan. You will see on the screen Meredith Moldenhauer, who is an attorney at Cozen and O'Connor. And she's our planning and zoning counsel. And also you will see Javier Dusan, who is the Vice President of Facilities and Real Estate Management at the University of the District of Columbia. We are going to give you a brief presentation regarding the master plan that we are undertaking for the Bertie Backus campus. We have a PowerPoint presentation. If I guess Sonny would have permission to share his screen.
I can do that. Let me find him on my screen. And also, can I please ask that you send me a copy of that so that I have that for the community to put on our website?
Certainly. If you would provide your email address, or do you want me to send it to the ANC?
It's 5A03@anc.dc.gov.
Thank you. Next slide, please, Sunny. So I've already introduced to you the participants that are speaking this afternoon, and we are going to go over the mission, the Backus campus area and the existing conditions, the master plan background, process, and consideration, the community stakeholders meeting that we had with members of the Backus community, long-term visioning, next steps, and milestones. Next slide, please. Okay, so the University of the District of Columbia has had 2 master plans approved for the Van Ness campus, which is on Connecticut Avenue. The first master plan was approved in 2011. The second one was approved in 2020. We are now embarking on a master plan for the Bertie Backus campus. According to District of Columbia requirements, whenever a university campus is in a residential neighborhood, then a master plan has to be submitted and approved by the zoning commission. And that is the process that we are undertaking now, so that we can renovate the existing building and add on to the building. The campus plan covers a period of what we expect to happen at that site over the next 10 years. Next slide, please. You will see in the red, it's not really a square, but in the red boundaries, within the red boundaries is the Bertie Backus campus. And this slide doesn't reflect all, but some of the new construction that is occurring in that area, but the master plan will address what happens within this red boundary. I think, next slide, please. Meredith, are you covering this or should I continue?
If you want to, I can jump in and handle this one and then the next few.
Okay, go ahead.
As you saw, the university is located by the art place at Fort Totten, which is a new PUD development across the street from the main entrance, which is on your upper left-hand corner. On your upper middle right-hand corner and center are some of the existing agricultural and greenhouses, and then on the upper right-hand corner, community garden. Then you also can see some of the overall classrooms. The building has not had a lot of major interior changes from its original configuration as a lower middle school, and that is part of our kind of focus and review as part of this process that you've heard so far. Next image, next slide. Kind of part of the purpose of today's discussion is to explain to the community and the commissioners what is a campus master plan. As Ms. Russell indicated, this is a requirement from zoning, but a campus master plan serves as a central planning document that outlines the physical structural developments on a campus for the course of the next 10 years. It seeks to create an overall university goal of how those structures are going to be improved, maintained, and possibly expanded. It provides a plan that will offer the best use of the campus space, both for the current and then hopefully future operations. And we are looking at issues of use of the facility, places for teachers, adjunct teachers, student classrooms, laboratories, also open space provisions, locations for students to be a part, work with each other, communicate, collaborate, circulation both inside and around, and getting to the campus, looking at both non-motorized as well as motorized transportation. We are part of our consulting group is transportation consultants from Grove Slade that are currently studying and providing some additional information on that multimodal aspect of circulation and transportation. We'll also then be looking at utilities infrastructure, and obviously most importantly, probably for the individuals on this call, relationships with the neighboring communities, interaction, and how these two buildings and communities interact and interplay with each other. Next slide. As Mr. Russell already stated, the property is located in the R2 zone, which is a residential zone. Any university that's located in residential zone is subject to submitting a campus master plan. This goes to the zoning commission, and they will review a document that analyzes and outlines the next 10 years goals, plans, designs, and long-term facility ideas and goals for that project. Also, we'll review and discuss how to minimize any potential negative impact the university may have on surrounding communities, and then consistency with an overall idea of the planning process. As Ms. Russell already indicated, the university has gone through this process for Van Ness, and that might be a really great tool to take a look at and to review, because obviously this is going to be a smaller campus, but a very similar kind of comprehensive review. But the goals of the university, despite their having multiple satellite campuses, are the same. And so we are going to be pulling a lot from the goals and missions that have been outlined and submitted and approved by the Zoning Commission in both the 2011 as well as the 2021 campus plan. This is, and as we'll get to in the final slide, the very beginning of a collaborative and longer process. And so we are, not asking for any official decisions today, and we will only be doing that once all the documentation is finalized and filed, which is later on in the process, but we'll get to that in the milestone slide. So I'll turn it over now back to UDC to walk through a couple more informational slides.
And I'll take it from here. Thank you, Meredith. Good evening, everyone. My name is Javier Dusan, Vice President of Facilities and Real Estate Management at UDC. As part of this plan process, we're going to be looking, of course, at the building. We're going to be, which is about 120, has about 123,000 square feet. We're going to be looking at the agricultural facilities. Of course, paying a lot of attention to the space for the classrooms. And also, and this is very important, improving the community feel. Two things I have to say about it. One is we want the community to be part of this process and the end result. But also, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, is also making sure that the facility looks and feels as a community college, because the original purpose for that building was a different one, although education was part of it. We also are looking at how staff, students, faculty, and visitors move around and get to the facility. So we're looking at transportation and circulation. We're also looking at how the space integrates with the neighborhoods. We're looking at open spaces, green spaces, and urban design. And we, of course, paying a lot of attention to the programming, what we call the programming, which is what the spaces are going to be used for. We do all these using the lens of sustainability. We want to make sure that not only we follow sustainable practices, but this is a sustainable solution for the community. And finally, on this slide, we're also looking at the utilities, electricity, HVAC, water, everything that has to do with infrastructure for this site. Next, please. Yeah, I've seen in the comments on the side of my screen related to residents not knowing about this tonight. There was a meeting with the community stakeholders that was held on October 29th. And the main purpose for this was for the consulting team to gain an insight based on the experience from the community and their familiarity with the Bertie Bacchus campus and the surrounding neighborhood. Community groups identified, identified a need for facilities upgrades, of course, have more functional spaces for classrooms, lab space, student lounge, upgrades to the gymnasium, more open and green spaces, pedestrian trails, rooftop green spaces, community garden, again, traffic and parking, facilitate better use of existing parking lot. There are some safety concerns about traffic along South Dakota Avenue. And of course, infrastructural upgrades, as I mentioned, heating and air conditioning and structural infrastructure. Next, please. And UDC is a system, an academic system, and to be consistent with that, we want to expand on the vision of the Vanness plan to holistically address the needs and goals of the university across all the campuses. We want to connect the campus, the Bertie Bacchus campus, to the neighborhood for a stronger institutional presence. We want to make sure that the campus is more accessible, and we're going to do this through better wayfinding, circulation, and landscape design. And we will explore how the campus may be redesigned to have more of a presence on South Dakota Avenue, so it improves its appearance, also the pedestrian experience, and how it can be better how it can better interact with and respond to the art place for Totem development, which happening across the street. Next. In terms of next steps and milestones, Ivis, I don't know if you want to take this one. I can certainly do, or Meredith.
You can go ahead, Javier.
Thank you. So in terms of community outreach, notice will be sent to surrounding neighbors, neighborhood groups, and ANC 5A. We'll continue discussions with local stakeholders. A notice of intent to file application is anticipated to be submitted by January and February 2023. The Bacchus campus plan is anticipated to be filed with the District Zoning Commission by March of 2023. And the Zoning Commission hearing will occur sometime in the summer of 2023. Next. And with this, we'll open the floor for questions or comments.
All right, thank you all. Good presentation. First, I want to say this discussion, and I saw that there was some chats regarding it. I have to apologize for it not being on the agenda. Somehow, Commissioner Lucio and I got mixed up there. I sent her an email. I asked her to put it on the agenda, and I didn't get a response on it. I know she had said she was going to talk to Commissioner Fletcher because it was in his SMD or something, but for whatever reason, it didn't get on the agenda. I apologize for that. And then Street Smarts, I want to apologize to you guys too, because when we got to you earlier, you weren't there, and so I kept moving with the agenda, and I'm sorry. We'll be back to you in a few minutes. Okay, now questions.
Chairman Edwards, I have a couple of questions.
Excuse me, Commissioner Lucio, can you take the screen sharing down?
Thank you.
Thank you.
They were co-hosts, so they needed to do it. Thank you. So thank you so much for that presentation. First of all, as was noted by Chairman Edwards, this was not widely distributed to the community, that this was part of our ANC meeting tonight. And so I do think it makes sense for us to have them return and present to a wider audience to make sure that the majority of the community is aware of this project before we do anything to sort of write in support of it or anything that they may need from us in terms of action. Secondly, I saw that you mentioned that you're going to be working with the ANC and then the community, but I did not see that you were working with your ANC, either your current ANC commissioner or your incoming ANC commissioner. And as was noted earlier, typically the single member district ANC commissioner is the point of contact with projects and developments. And so I think that, again, before anything comes out of this ANC, I think it would be in the best interest of everybody for us to make sure that you are working with your current ANC commissioner and then your incoming ANC commissioner and attending their single member district meetings, and can show that this information has been shared with the immediate community within that single member district. And I see Commissioner Washington nodding her head in agreement. So I think that's generally what we look for in the ANC, and we'd appreciate that support. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just to say, so this is really an introduction to, as I said, kind of a long process. We, are here to just kind of, let the community know that this is going to be a process that's going to be starting now. We look forward to obviously meeting and working with the ANC, the SMDs, and coming back to you, I think, multiple times between, before we file it in March, and then between filing it and the actual hearing. So
I appreciate that. I just want to share that, with other projects that have gone on in the community, yes, they've come to the ANC, but they have also simultaneously presented at the single member district. Each step of the way, if where approvals or support from the ANC or single member district has been needed, that part of the single member district is a critical step. So I want to make sure I have not heard that you all have been even in communication with your single member district ANC commissioner. So I want to make sure that you actually are in touch with them, communicating with them, and working with them from the very start, because that's where it should start. And again, Commissioner Washington is nodding her head in agreement. It should not start with the ANC. It should start with the single member district. And then that ANC commissioner should be the one that brings it to the ANC to share with the community.
All right. And so I think those are points that are very well taken with regard to, the UDC and the process. And so it would be nice. It looks like you have February as sort of one of your touch points, but between now and February, it sounds like there can be some meetings within the community, probably within the SMD, the civic associations, or something like that, where this discussion is had more closely to the community. Could you all work out something like that, Ms. Russell?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Chairman Edwards, let me just also add to that real quick that you did ask in the comments about the master plan webpage. And when would that be live? Because that would be another way to share the information with the community.
Yeah, so we're working on revising the webpage now. I don't think it'll get done before Thanksgiving, but it will be done shortly after that, clearly by December 1st. And also, we will be distributing to the community a survey to receive, which would be another way of receiving input from stakeholders in the community about their views on the campus site.
Can I ask how you're sending that survey and to whom within the community you're sending that survey?
So it would obviously be sent to the ANC members that they can distribute to their networks. Also, Juanita Gray, who is our community engagement liaison, she has provided us with organizations in the community that have an interest in what's happening at the campus.
Thank you. And so just if you could make sure that obviously we get that out, we can send it out through our email list. I'd also ensure that you are working very closely with the civic associations that you board. There's 2 civic associations that you are very close by, the North Michigan Park Civic Association and the Lamond Riggs Civic Association. So I'd make sure that you are working closely with both of those civic associations as well.
Yes, and they received invitations to the community meeting that Mr. Desan referred to earlier.
All right, I want to take time to thank you guys. I think for the presentation. It is you're coming early as you indicated, and so going forward, I think it's just to sort of reach out to, I think it's Commissioner Fletcher's SMD. And he'll probably want to have some meetings between now and the January meeting, but other than that, I'm excited about the plan, and look forward to sort of working with you guys and seeing it come to fruition. Is there any? I see 2 hands.
Chairman Edwards, let me just mention it's in.
Wait. It's
in Commissioner McDuffie's SMD, not Commissioner Fletcher's.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Washington.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I attended, along with Commissioner Lockett, the meeting that they had back in October that was sent out to the community, and they did the presentation at that time. And I think some of the community representatives that are on now attended the meeting also and asked for some information like fact sheets and things of that nature. Has that been done yet? Has anybody prepared the fact sheet for this?
I know that Ms. Gray, who I referred to earlier, was requested to provide the presentation that was given at the community meeting, and I know we provided that to her and she distributed it. I do not personally know who it was distributed to, but I will circle back with her to make sure that we've complied with all requests.
Okay.
All right, Commissioner Lockett, you have the floor.
Open the door one way.
Huh?
Get off that door.
Derek.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yes, I like Commissioner Wash said, we both attended the meeting. And I attended a meeting about a month ago with Councilman Phil Millicent, and I'm still asking the same questions. When we talked back then, we were talking about green space, and I was asked the same question now. What does your green space consist of? Are we talking solar? Because the last time they were talking Pepco. And I'm wondering if that's, that would contribute to lower utility bills for the place there, because you do use a whole lot of light there. And my second question is that I talk again about the garden outside. It's been 8 years and I've yet to see anything there. And I've been there 4 or 5 times and I've not seen anything that was going to benefit.
Get off the door.
Commissioner Holloway, can you mute yourself? Goodness.
Who?
Holloway needed to mute him.
Well, you say lock it.
I said Commissioner Holloway.
My bad. Okay. And I was so looking forward to Saturday mornings with seniors and the residents of the areas here in 5A coming there to get those beautiful vegetables that y'all were growing there, along with the fish that you were growing. But it's been 8 years and I've yet to see any development that makes it think that that's going to open any other Saturday recently. Do you have any plans on that opening anytime soon?
So I know that the continuation of the food hub is part of the master plan for that site. I will have to check with that is a program under the College of Agriculture, Urban Sustainability, and Environmental Sciences. So I will have to find out from them what their plans are in terms of that site, but I do know that we continue, that portion of the campus that has been dedicated to the food hubs is intended to be part of the campus plan. And I will get additional information for you.
Hi, ma'am. I was just saying it's been 8 years and you know the conditions that we've lived in here for the past 2 years with Corona going on. And it sure would have felt good to walk up on a Saturday morning up there and get fresh produce out of here. Thank you.
And so the farmer's market is not there anymore?
At UDC?
Yeah. There was not a
No.
farmer's market there?
No. It's
Okay.
the structure and everything is there. I've looked at it inside of it out. And I have horticultural credentials also. And I was just trying to wonder, what are you growing here? And some of the stuff I see them were growing, I've never heard of. So it wasn't beneficiary, but I was told a story how this was going to develop. And I assumed that was 2 years ago that was going to happen, but it hasn't. So I guess I just have to be patient and sit back and wait.
Well, I'm going to get you an answer with regard to what the plans are for that garden. I promise you that.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Chairman Enders, I have one last question if I could real quick. I just wanted to know what the improvements to the building. We've always had our in-person meetings there, and so I want to make sure that that is still in the plans for us to be able to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Lockett, go ahead. Commissioner Lockett. You muted.
No, I'm sorry. Chairman,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Nope,
Right.
that's okay.
Anything further? All right, Ms. Russell, thank you very much again for the presentation, you and your team. Commissioner McDuffie, he was not on here, but I understand that he is the SMD for which where the school is located. And he could be useful to, I think, unless you're having problems reaching him, to get on our agenda and to make sure that it's done sort of like in a orderly process. So we make sure next time you're on the agenda.
Yes, sir. And thank you all very much for your time and attention this evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now, I'm gonna go back. I've been apologizing all evening, but I'm gonna go back now to item number 7. And this is a DC Smart Street Lighting Project. Commissioner Lucio, you have the floor.
Well, thank you. This is not necessarily mine, but I need to give Sharon Jackson screen sharing. Let me see if I can find her real quick. Oh, there she is. She just came on camera. That helped. There you go, Miss Jackson. You should have screen sharing now.
All right. Thank you very much. We will not hold everything up, and we'll be quick this evening. I'm Sharon Jackson Wilder. I am with the DC Smart Street Lighting group team. I have with me Mr. Stan. I don't see him on screen, but I know he's here.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm there.
There you are. Okay, great. With me as well. And we just wanted to share a little bit about this project. So let me start from the beginning. All right, so brighter, better connected DC is what we expect to occur with our community benefits of modernizing over 72,000 streetlights, converting streetlights to LED technology, adding remote monitoring and control capabilities, increasing sustainability efforts, reducing that streetlight energy consumption by more than 50%, which is huge, and then also eliminating 38,000 tons of greenhouse gas emissions every year. We started this work actually in May with a kickoff, and we have been working doing procurement work, getting our poles and lights in, and that type of thing. And we will actually start the rehab work in 2020. Well, we've started some of it now, and we will start the putting the new LED lights up starting in the first quarter of 2023. And then this work will be continued to be managed by our team all the way until May 2037. So as I mentioned, we're in the design and construction phase. So what does that mean? It means that we have our time to do detailed design. We do our procurement, we mobilize, we get all of our people in order. We do some work around the district to upgrade foundations and poles and the arms so that they're up into good condition, so we can just pop those lights out and get the LEDs up there. This light installation will occur per ward. As you see, Ward 5 is in the first group. And we will be doing this work in about 5 bundles per ANC. And we strategically did it that way so that we won't be in any S&D for more than 14 days. And then, of course, I mentioned the asset management, and basically that's just the maintenance part of the work. Whereas now, you call 311, you get someone from the district that answers those calls. When we don't expect you to do much of that, because it is that there is remote monitoring, and the team should get the signal if a street light is out. Now, of course, if a truck runs over a street light, definitely pick up that phone and call 311 and you will get to us. So again, they're expected to be installed by May 2024. So a short time period to get all these lights installed, and then that asset management will continue. So right now we're notifying ANCs by, obviously in this manner, but we also will be notifying you by mail and email closer to the time we get started to doing this work. And then 7 days prior to the start of the work, we'll be leaving door hangers for residents and information cards, providing notices, et cetera. And then 72 hours, we'll be hanging those emergency no parking signs on the doors. Okay, so if you have a smartphone or something, you might want to grab your phone, scan the QR code, and it'll take you directly to our website, or you can just go to streetlights.dc.gov. We are actually embedded on the DC, on the DDOT webpage. If there are any questions, or you'd like to get on the the list for updates, you can certainly email info@dcsmartstreetlights.com.
Thank you,
And
Ms.
with
Jackson. Can I
that-
ask you to stop sharing your screen? And can I also ask that you make sure to send me a copy of your PowerPoint so we have it for our records?
Yeah, then I see
Thank
a
you.
number of hands, so I don't know who was first. I can take them in order of how I see them on my screen. So I see Sandy.
I think Robert was first. He can go first.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make this quick. Is this a continuation of the program you guys had maybe 3 or 4 years ago called the Streetlight Synchronization, in which I think they started downtown, then went to Georgetown. They were supposedly to go to Ward 8, and after that, everything died. So is this a continuation of that? Because it sounds like it.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that project. This is a new contract and it just started in May.
Okay, well, I will send you information on that because it sounds exactly like that. And I've been asking for years as why did it stop when it was ready to come to Ward 5? But since you're unaware of it, I'll send you the information.
Okay.
Do you have a email I can send it to?
info@dc. Oh, let me, wait, can I go back to that page? Or no? Okay, yeah, here you go. info@dcsmartstreetlights.com.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. When I send this to you, you'll get it out to everyone else? Is that how that works?
I'll do so.
Okay. I'm sorry, who do I send it to? Commissioner
Lucio,
Lucio.
and it's 5A03@anc.dc.gov.
Okay.
And once you send it to me, I will post it on the website under our presentations.
Thank you so much. Who was next?
Mr. Zimmerman.
Hi there. So I'm just wondering, I've been in contact with, I'm an incoming commissioner for 5A09. I've been in contact with a future constituent who's been trying to get streetlights put in along South Dakota Avenue that are more specifically focused on pedestrians. She was unfortunately robbed at gunpoint a few weeks ago and was unable to provide any sort of accurate description of her assailant because the lights there are just simply not good enough. So I've been trying to get in touch with DDOT about trying to get some sort of better, more pedestrian focused lights in place. I'm wondering, and I've kind of hit a dead end. What is the process to get additional lights put in that are in addition to just the improvements that you're making to the street lights now?
Stan, do you have a response for that?
So unfortunately, so I don't have a specific response to you because, well, we are the contractor for this project under DDOT, so we're going to follow our contract. And in our contract, basically, that's just the replacement of the existing lights by LEDs, plus exactly as Sharon explained, some rehabilitation works for some portion of the assets, such as the poles replacements and foundations or bases or arm replacements. So the process to ask for additional lights, I'm not able to answer this question. Unfortunately, we don't have a DDOT representative with us tonight, but we can take the question and forward it to DDOT.
Okay, excellent. Just one last. Yeah, go ahead, Cindy.
I was just going to say, and also if you, it would be helpful to us if you send an email to that info@dcsmartstreetlights.com email, and we can get that directly to our counterpart at DDOT.
Okay, and just one really quick follow-up question. I'm just wondering if you had maybe you have the information with you, maybe not. When specifically the South Dakota Avenue section will be added, or do you know? Okay.
Yeah, okay. No, we are ahead of time. You know, we are still at the planning phase, let's say, and I don't want to release anything about that for the moment because it may not be accurate. But as soon as we got that plan and the schedule refined, let's say, as per what Sharon said, we're gonna share with you all the information when we'll come to your ANC and the bundles within your ANC. You will know precisely when and specific locations.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we promise it will be timely. You won't, it won't be the day before.
So now it's just you and Commissioner Lockett. So who's up now, Commissioner?
Commissioner Washington, Commissioner-elect Ammerman? Zach?
Yes.
I can give you that information on who you need to reach out to about getting the additional lights.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
I can give you that. You can email me and I can give you that information.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just wanted to, I think I'm kind of going where Robert went about the, this, am I calling the street lights that you all are doing now? I remember something that happened some time ago too. I think, Robert, what this is probably a new contract that has been let by DDOT. And I think that's why probably the first one failed, or I don't want to say failed or didn't continue, but I do believe that this is just a new contract that has just been issued that's working on it. My question for Ms. Wilder is that you're saying that you guys will be the ones replacing the street lights in the lights that are up. That's different from the Pepco lights. Is there a difference between your lights and what lights are Pepco lights? Because who handles the lights in the alleys? You know, like, are you all doing that as well, or it's just street lights only?
No, I can answer this question. I think I can't tell you if 100% of the alleys lights will be replaced under our contract, but I know that within our contracts we do have some alleys lights to be replaced. So meaning that all the poles that belongs to DDOT, for sure, we're going to replace the lights, but some other poles that belongs to Pepco, we also, and that with some features on it, we're going to replace it too.
But we won't know what lights will be replaced and what lights won't. So I guess right now what I'm saying is lights that go out now, since you all are just starting, we just still need to go to Pepco or to DDOT, well, I guess to Pepco, to make sure that the lights are replaced.
Correct. I think you should call the 311 to get the light replaced in case there is any failure or something like that. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Lockett, you up, and then Deb.
Okay, just a couple. The lady who got robbed, it's not just the light there, it's the lack of tree pruning. I come to that everyday ride or drive past it somehow. DDOT does good job of tree pruning. That needs to be happening right in that same area where the lady got robbed, identical where she got robbed at. Okay, secondly, the yellow signs you're putting around your traffic lights now, what's the purpose of those? The little box you put around your street lights. What are the purpose? What's that purpose?
I think that's DDOT, Commissioner.
Oh, is that DDOT?
Yeah, these are just contractors. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, once again, I'll share my experience. I did LED lights 15 years ago for traffic signs for the government, feds. Why does it always take DC government 5, 10 years for them to get updated with safety concerns that could save them money, energy in the city here? Why does it take so long?
Commissioner Lockett, I respectfully, I think you're asking the wrong
people,
people here now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they just have a job to do on the contract.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
But
we would have been really happy to do the same job 5 years ago, you know.
All right. Okay. My bad.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right, Deb, you up.
Actually, Commissioner Washington asked my question. I was wondering about the lights in the alley, so.
Okay, thank you. Anything further, any other questions? All right, so This was a interesting presentation. You see that there is interest, I think, and so just keep working with the commissioners in the coming months to make sure that they are kept informed.
We will certainly do that. Commissioner Edwards, thank you so much for having us today.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Chairman Edwards, it looks like Miss Sally from DPW is no longer on the call. I think she had something she wanted to share, but she's no longer here.
Yeah, she wanted to share about the leaf season and things that are
Yeah.
going on. I spoke with her yesterday. Yeah.
But we unfortunately did not call on her during the city presentations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So now we are back up to the top here, and I just want to talk briefly about the annual report. I've sent that to you guys. I've gotten some comments back with regard. Thanks, Commissioner Washington, for updating the numbers for me. Like to try to get this thing published before the end of December. This is going to be hopefully probably our final meeting of this commission. So I just wanted to make sure that this is something it is required to be submitted on an annual basis, and we've missed out on several years, and so we just this report here attempts to try to make up for that. You don't have to take the time on this meeting to give me your comments and everything, but I would like to know that everybody is sort of looking at it and is going to send me some comments at some point with regard to it, to make sure that we can put together a comprehensive document, and that the information that's in it is accurate. Anybody have anything they want to say regarding the annual report, or I can just look forward to receiving you all's additional comments so that we can put it in final probably by the end of this month.
Well, Commissioner Edwards, I did, like I said, I did update the numbers, but I also went through the document and added some edits to some of the things that were happening in my single member district. So I did do that.
And then I think I caught most of them, but
yeah, it was just a few.
You and I may need to just talk so you make sure I didn't miss anything, because I almost and commissioners, when you send me back the document, if you would highlight the area where you made the changes, that would make it easy for me to know, where
Okay.
Chairman Edwards, do you mind sending it again just to make sure it's at the top of my email? I know I got it, but if you wouldn't mind sending it again, that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Were you saying something else, Commissioner Washington?
I just think it's a great idea to try to get it done, since we will not be there next year, and I think we should close out what we've done over the last several years.
We don't want to say that old 5A haven't done the reports in there. We don't want to
at all. Correct. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think we need to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else, commissioners? Community concerns, anything else?
Well, before Mr. Lockett speaks, I do have to say one thing that we didn't discuss. I think you and I discussed it, but we need to may have to have a special meeting in December for the budget. The ANC has to submit their budget for FY 23. The information just came out to me last week because they were still working on the new revising the system and getting out the information to all the ANCs. And I guess because I am still the sitting treasurer, it has to be in by December 31st. And I think we need to I'll send out the numbers of what the projections are. And then, we probably need to put in what you all expect to spend in FY 23. Also, as the outgoing treasurer, the new incoming treasurer for FY 23, starting in January, will be responsible for doing the first quarter financial report for ANC 5A as well. So I think we really need to, put that budget together. They're letting us do expenditures now on a continuing basis. But it definitely has to be approved and sent in by December 31st. So it's up to you guys how you want to do it. You know, the newly elected commissioners, I would suggest as well to be involved, as since you guys will be a part of the, will be the new commissioners for 5A.
Well, that's kind of so you have, I guess in all you said, I mean, we just we got to have another meeting.
Yes.
And you need to do it before December 31st. So I hope you think about it and pick a time that is good and let us know so that we can go ahead and try to get this done. I was hoping we could get it done today, but I guess not.
No, I will send out the information tomorrow, the copy of the budget to everybody to look at what the numbers are. But, you know, I mean, I could put together and put what I project in, but because I'm not going to be there, I want to make sure you guys know what you're planning to spend or what you think.
And so I just think that, I think that the other thing also, to her point, we're going to, you know, I don't want to have all of the new elected commissioners coming in now trying to help us to put the budget together. What we need to do is approve a continuing sort of budget, a shell that we've been sort of using. Don't try to think about what they're going to do, because as soon as they get in office in January, they'll be able to have their meetings and then make any changes to that budget. So I want this to be, let's keep it simple for this meeting.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is just put together the budget based on what the current expenditures were from the previous year. And then you guys can make whatever modifications you want to do in the next year.
January, that's right.
Okay, and then that way the meeting will just be a special meeting to approve the budget. That's it.
That's right.
Didn't take more than 5-10 minutes.
Okay, Commissioner Lockett.
Can I do this without it being interrupted? I have a statement. Is it possible?
You have the floor.
Thank you very much. All right, let me share. Commissioner Lucio, you've been very rude to me through the whole time of this 2 years I've had here. You send me texts, raise my hand, and I watched you tonight all through the last year, not do it yourself. You call me, text me, telling me people's opinion about me as the commissioner because I disagree with something. That is my opinion. You bring me in here and you bring us to a meeting and you show us all this stuff about a development you want us to pass, not giving us any previous information. You make me believe or think that you practice gentrification as well as structural racism in our community. I don't think you do, but that's what it seems to look like you do. You need to be more respectful and appreciate all of us as human beings. Sometimes you give me the impression that you're the chairman. I know the difference between the chairman and the secretary. All I ask in your next endure as ANC commissioner, be a little more respectful. I don't think it's a racial thing because I'm Black, but you need to be a little more courteous and allow us, when you bring developers in here, to ask questions and you not speak for them, okay? Now, I've had another commissioner call me and tell me somebody in my S&D do not like to want to talk to me. And when I say to them, that is their problem. I'm the commissioner. If they don't want to speak to me, they speak to them and keep it to themselves. This is something that I thought as 5A, being a commissioner here, people ask me, I didn't want this. Officials asked me. I thought that we as 5A commissioners would get something done for the community of 5A. I've yet to see one thing as a group that we've done. I've seen individuals do individual things, but nobody as a full group, full body of 5A that we've actually sit down and worked out a plan of some type of program or something to put in the community. We don't even talk in Christmas baskets, not even Thanksgiving baskets to put out in the community. I don't know what the rules and regulations are, but so far, all I've got out of this commission for the 2 years is what I cannot do, never telling me what I can do. And Commissioner Lucio, you need to change your ways, okay? I thank you very much. I've had you in my home, what you say, tutoring my grandson. I thought you were a very pleasant person. There were individuals when you first started in our community who wanted to come after you. I stopped it because I welcome you to the community, just another human being. But now you left me with a different opinion, and I'll leave it at that. I wish you all have a nice Thanksgiving, a happy Christmas. The 2 years wasn't as what I expected. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Lucio, I see Commissioner Holloway got his hand up, but I assume you would like to respond?
No, I would not.
Okay. All right.
But my hand was up before Commissioner Holloway's.
Okay, but I don't want to, okay, go ahead.
All I wanted to say is that Chairman Edwards is that Commissioner Fletcher and I have already been in communication in preparation for next year. And that I do think it would be critically important to ensure that all of the incoming commissioners are if we're going to have a special meeting in December, that we have the current commissioners and all of the incoming commissioners to make a smooth transition, and then continue to have conversations amongst the new ANC commission going forward. Obviously, Commissioner-elect Marion is on the call today. He's been on all the other calls, but I think we need to do everything. And I have sent out emails to the other commissioners to invite them. We do need to make sure that I think that they are at the December meeting so that they are aware of the budget we're going to be proposing for everybody for next year. So thank you.
All right, and you have once the meeting has been set and the notice is sent out, then you have all those people. Just make sure you add them.
I have been sending everybody emails. So
okay.
Yeah.
And so our meetings are definitely open to the public, and newly elected commissioners definitely welcome to attend. But like I said, I don't want this meeting and this budget that we're going to be voting on to be a budget that the new commissioners come in. Again, I just want to make the point, you're going to get an opportunity to vote on a budget of your choice in January. We're just leaving a budget in place so that you can legally be able to operate and that the commission is legally being able to continue to function. And then we will also be taking, any comments that anybody have. But I just want to make sure we're clear as to what we'll be doing at the special meeting. Commissioner Holloway, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And let me say, first and foremost, it's been an honor to work with you this past year. I wasn't on for the 2 years because you know how I came in, but I am a former 3-term ANC commissioner. I did work with, my chair was Anita Bonds and James Berry, and we alternated through the years, and we just always got along. And this is what troubles me when I hear Mr. Lockett, Commissioner Lockett, introduce something to the people. I have not seen the unity that I would have looked for. You know, everybody's intelligent. Those of us have degrees, which I do, doesn't make you no smarter about how you work for the community. I've done things since I've owned my home for 23 years. And to have your own people that should be in your corner and they work against you out of your good hard work. But you know, like the book says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So I just want to say to everybody to know this is why I don't get into a lot. I listen. The first 2 months I came back, I listened. You know, and if you're doing, you know what I consider I'm doing? I consider I'm doing God's work because I'm helping my community. I don't get paid for that. And we should just take a page out of the book to say that, listen, we need to respect one another better. And I plan on being around regardless of the obstacles and everything else that has took place. Oh, I will be around. And I'm gonna speak for my community, you know, and I just think we need to do a better job of that. You know, one thing that I hadn't talked to Commissioner Lockett about, but I'm saying, wow, what have we done? And since I came in this year, what have we done as a cohesive unit for the community? All I've seen is everybody's agendas. That's what I've seen. And like you said, if it wasn't number Thanksgiving baskets, well, you know, I'm a Masonic man, so we do Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that. But we should be able to do something like that. And we should have a budget that reflects that. And the budget and whatever we do, I know things have changed a whole lot about what we can do, and hopefully we can work better. I think we've done a great job from what I've seen on that, but we haven't done that.
Commissioner.
And I just, you know, and it just saddens me that I hear people that have to come out and go at one another like that when we all supposed to be on the same team. God bless. That's all I need to say.
Thank you. And commissioners, I just want to say before another one get on here and say the same thing about how disappointed you are about what we have been doing or have not been doing as a community. It's very sad that you wait till the very last meeting of the year to talk about it when you've had all 12 months to come to the floor and bring some ideas and some suggestions and say, let's do some things. Don't sit back and wait for somebody else to do it. So I'm listening to you, but okay. So that's all I'm saying. And the new commission coming in, y'all can have this conversation with them at the beginning of the year. That might help, and then hopefully if you have ideas, if there's something that you want to do or you think we should be doing, you would have said something about it months before so that we could get it done. Not sit here now talking about what we haven't done. But besides that, I think we've done a great job for the residents here, the best that we could. And so I don't want to take anything away from that. And I see 3 hands. We're gonna hear those comments, and then we're gonna bring this meeting to an end. So Commissioner Lockett, you're back. Well, wait. Let me go to Commissioner Fletcher, and then we'll come around back to you. Okay, Commissioner Fletcher.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just gonna say that since this is the last official meeting, because I know we're gonna have a special meeting in December. No matter what, I do want to just thank Commissioner Edwards, Commissioner Washington, Commissioner Lockett for your service, for your time, especially Commissioner Edwards and Commissioner Washington. No offense to you, Commissioner Lockett, you too, but I've just served in this capacity with Commissioner Washington and Commissioner Edwards a little bit longer, but you as well, sir. Want to double down on that. And I've learned a lot from you all. I think when I first came, I think my now wife and I, we were just dating. And so now we're gonna have our first baby girl. And so I just appreciate everything. And I know that myself, Commissioner Lucio and Commissioner-elect Ammerman and others, we're gonna continue the work, continue the service, bring increased unity, bring increased collaboration, but we're not gonna ever forget this, where we came from. And I know for me at least, I'm gonna be calling you, asking advice, asking guidance, and all of that, right? So I just want that to be placed on the record because the work of a commissioner is tireless. It's unpaid, as we all know, and you all have been doing it for many, 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 many years, and that should not go unnoticed. And I feel as if sometime next year, I'm not going to speak for my fellow commissioners, but we want to probably do something to say thank you sometime next year. So that's what I wanted to say. That's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Fletcher. But I just want to say I've already received my thank yous. I get them from a higher sort of order because of the work that I do.
Amen.
But anything that you all want to do, that's on you guys. Commissioner Lockett, you are.
Thank you, Commissioner
Mr.
Fletcher.
Edwards, let me share with y'all. I have no hate for any of y'all. You're human beings. I love you dearly. I would do anything to try to better the community. But when I first became commissioner, Commissioner Washington, Commissioner Edwards, what did I ask you to? Soon as I came commissioner, do you remember?
You asked me a lot of things, so I
Sure did, so.
I asked you both up at the park. I met both of you up at the park for an idea to put a track around that park. And you know what I got told? It's federal property. That's not going to happen. Okay. Now, second one, Commissioner Edwards. I talked to Commissioner McDuffie about trying to do something with UDC's garden. I didn't get from Commissioner McDuffie was putting letters out there. What I get is a phone call from you asking me, why do I want somebody to take credit for a program that I should do throughout the city? It wasn't about the credit, it was about the program. All I want to do is get something positive in the community, and was hoping that it was with a group of people who had the same initiative, because I bring a whole lot of talent and experience from the federal government with me to this community. And that's all I wanted to do. Nothing more, nothing less. To do something, to work with a group of people that we can get something done in the community. That's it. I'm out of here. As Bobby Brown said, I'm out of here. That's it. Good night.
Thank you, Commissioner Lockett. Commissioner Holloway, you have the floor.
Well, I just want to finally address, I heard you say, Mr. Chair, that we should have brought about a lot of stuff before we get to the end of the year. And I agree with you totally. But at the same time, you and I both were sitting and watching what transpired. So if anybody's to blame, we all to blame. Let's kick the ballistics here. We all to blame, okay? If someone's not getting along or we're not on the same page, I was just different. I was privy, and thank you, Father, that I had 3 lawyers, all kind of people, but their egos weren't there when it came to the community. We all worked together. So now, with that being said, I hope that everything moves forward. Nobody's criticizing 5A or the commissioners. Everybody got their own personality. I earned a degree in psychology. I don't have no problem with everybody's personality, but we all should have the same goal. Now, and that's where I am. So it's not like I heard you say that, well, we should have made this, we went a whole year and now we get to the end of the year and we say, sometimes Murphy's Law says that people wait till a certain amount of time till they build up the courage to say what they want to say. That's not me. That's not me, but I'm just saying it's a build up. And I just heard my man, and I'm kind of sort of Commissioner Fletcher. I understand that he said how he's worked with people, but and you guys in the group, but remember, I've done 3 straight terms. I know what's about in the work, and it's dedication. And I just hope everybody take it to what it's supposed to be, and that's we're volunteering to make sure our communities be strong. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Holloway. And on that note,
Wait a second, hold up. I just want to say.
No, you know where I'm heading.
Hold up. I just want to say that I have really enjoyed working with 5A. I have been a 5A commissioner since 2006, actually 2003. I know it's been 18 years that I've been an ANC commissioner, and I've served as an ANC commissioner for 18 years, unopposed by anyone. And I came in as a write-in. And I have learned a whole lot. And actually, Joe Bowser was my mentor. I've enjoyed every minute of being the commissioner, doing the work that I have done, working with my residents, the constituents, and numerous commissioners. I think I'm the last original standing commissioner for 5A. And as Commissioner Fletcher said earlier, I mean, I have to piggyback on that. I've really, not only did you learn from me, but I learned from you as well as I did from Commissioner Edwards when he came from 5C. And it's just been a great group to have worked with during my tenure. I'm going to miss you guys, but I'm going to be around as well. As I told Commissioner Lucio, whatever I can do to help, I'll be there. I welcome all the new elected commissioners. If you need me, I'm there. And as I say, it's just been great. And thank you all for allowing me to serve with you.
All right.
Thank you, Commissioner Washington. Thank you, Chairman Edwards. It has been a pleasure working with you. This is obviously been only my second term, about to enter my third, but you all have been very helpful to teach us the ropes. So I truly do appreciate all the work you have put in and the service you have given to the community and your mentorship. And trust me, Commissioner Washington, I will be calling you. So thank you so much.
Not a problem.
All right, this is nice little, I think, closing for our meeting. Yeah, you all said everything that I would say, and y'all know how I feel about the commission and each of you. I kind of hate that some people feel like some things didn't get accomplished that we would like to get accomplished, but there's next year coming, so let's make it happen. I mean, we are a community, and so we can work together to make sure we get those things done, whatever y'all want to get done. Let's don't talk about what we didn't do. Let's talk about what we're going to do going forward. Be positive.
Amen. That's right.
And,
that's right.
And keep it moving. But other than that, thank you all for attending this meeting today.
Thank you.
It's been a very good meeting, I think. We're getting out a little early. It's 9:14.
Yes. Yes. We have our
early in
late
comparison. It's early in comparison, but it's not early in terms of what we should
early. I agree.
This is not, it's not early. You're right, Shannon. It's not early.
I can get back to, I can go back to some of the gang. I'm telling you, we have been here till 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much. Have a
And
good
that's
night,
because-
everyone.
And that's because you all are such a
all.
good commission, and you stayed. If you had a job to do, and we would
That's
do
right.
what it take to get it done.
We complained. We complained, but we hung in there.
We are an outstanding commission. Don't never get that twisted. I just want us to love one another. You understand?
I know that's
We
right.
all got the same purpose. That's all I'm saying.
All right,
Thank you,
well then,
Commissioner Holloway.
All right.
aside from this, let's get together before the year's out and have a drink, everybody. Okay. All
And
right.
I will be emailing the budget to you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Good night, everyone.
And to
Good
the
night.
community, thank you all too. I
Thank you,
mean,
community.
yes.
All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.